This is a picture of a little insert in my kitchen window, and basically you're looking through 2 layers of plastic, 2 layers of glass, another layer of glass, and then outside. Pine especially, sometimes will have a little bit of a oil film on the surface, just because pine has that resins in it. So I typically will just take a rag with a little bit of denatured alcohol, rubbing alcohol, and just give it a good wipe just to get that little bit of a film off it. Typically 1 screw is fine. You put a little bit of, get the pieces held together, drill a pilot hole. Countersink bits, they basically have a little bit of a countersink that lets the head of the screw sink into the wood a little. And then it has a bit that will drill and pre-drill the hole, so when you put the screw in, it'll go right through this part of it, and then it'll go into this part and hold without splitting everything. 1 screw is more than adequate, especially with a little bit of glue in there. So you put a little bit of Elmer's glue in this joint here before you assemble it. Now this is the way that I do it. I put double sticky tape on each side of the frame. The double sticky tape has a release film on it, so you just put it on both sides. And I run the tape right near the edge, and then run my finger over it to make sure it's pressed down nice and tight on the frame. Do that on both sides. What I like to do is put the film down on a table. They show you clamping it here. You can also use tape, or you don't even have to use tape. You can just basically put it down the table, get it stretched out so it's flat, and then take your frame and peel off the tape. So you've taken off that release tape, and then just drop the frame on top of the plastic. Plop it right down on top of it. Once you've got it down on top of it, you can pick it up and run your finger over it just to make sure you've got it nice and tightly bonded to that double sticky tape. Do it on the other side, then you repeat on the other side. A razor knife just to clean off the film around the perimeter. And so what you'll end up with here now is a film on both sides of your frame that's all doesn't look very good yet. It's kind of loose and wrinkly, but it's on there nice and securely. Once you've gotten the frame all put together, you take a piece of clear packing tape and run it around the edge so that it overlaps the frame. And that basically protects the edge, protects the film, and gives you a nice surface to stick your sticky foam to. Without this little piece of plastic that they put on here, how are you going to get that thing out of it? You just staple 2 little tabs, one on either side, staple them down on, and that's going to give you the tab to pull out. I usually just grab them with a pair of pliers and tug them, yeah. And then comes the heat shrinking. Basically, you just take your old hair dryer, set it on high, and keep moving it. The minute you stop, you'll blow a hole through the plastic with a good, powerful hair dryer. So you just get it going and you just keep moving. I just like to start in the center and work my way out. You just keep it a few inches from it, but you keep it moving. And you will, it's always fun to watch it because it's one of those things where you take this thing that looks terrible, and after about a minute of hair drying, it's crystal clear, tight as a drum. With some of these closed cell foams is they're so tough, they don't compress. So this is the best material to use. This is 1/2 by 3/4. So this gives you lots of leeway, lots of wiggle room with your measurements and stuff. And you just basically put it on one side, snip it off, and then you can run by and then snip this off right here. And then that gives you a nice square corner. So basically you're compressing the foam 50% to get it to fit in. What I like to do is take my insert and basically, if I'm putting it in the window, I'll push it up into a corner first, get this to squeeze into the corner, and then I'll start to slide it in. And usually it'll slide in nicely. If it's hanging up a little bit, you can take one of those pastry knives and just sort of, if it's like starting to hang up a little bit here, you can just put the pastry knife in and slide it up and down and get it to go in.
Reduce, reuse, recycle. I want to say it again. Reduce, reuse, recycle. We gotta watch what we buy. What's it contained in? What's it contained? Where will it end up? Where will it lie? Can it be changed and used over again?